Good morning, viewers. Thank you very much. Welcome to Punchline Africa Television. This is Punchline Africa Television, broadcasting all the way from the Political Command Center now in Nairobi, in the General Headquarters, sorry. We are here with Miriam Ogutu. We want to go through a number of things using the editor's memo as the show. Our correspondents dotted across Kenya in all counties, Nakuru for the Rift Valley, Narok for the other one, Kiambu and Meru for Mount Kenya, who are present here today. Good morning, all of you, Tawish, Xavier, Gladwell, and Douglas Krimi. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Thank you very much.
Good morning.
Good morning, Tawish is he there? Yes. Good morning, Tawish.
Good morning to you, Dr. Masanga.
Yes, how is the cold treating you? It looks like it is coming down deep on you, man.
It's very harsh though, but we are coping with it.
Okay, thank you very much. Good morning. Today is a D-Day for the you have discussed the entire legacy of President Uhuru Kenyatta. One of the legacies he left behind is that he did not attend the interview. Debate in 2017, and he went addressed. One question I want to ask, is he following the Raila, the Uhuru tactic? And Uhuru came up, he won. He addressed radio stations, very many of them, and the message was very loud and clear. Don't you think that is the best way? Tawish?
Absolutely, Dr. I think that is the best way. Away from maybe copying what President Uhuru Kenyatta did in 2017, this was the best and ideal decision that Raila Odinga could make in the present circumstances, because when you feel like the whole debate is more of a compromise debate, that the real issues that matter to the ordinary Mwananchi are not those that we are going to discuss. It's going to be about name calling, hurling insults, and all such kind of things, Dr. Masanga. Then I think Honorable Raila Odinga did quite a very good decision to skip that debate and instead engage in town hall meeting that we expect is also going to articulate most of the issues that will otherwise you may not have gotten a chance to speak during the this debate that we anticipate this evening, Dr. Masanga.
Thank you very much. I want to hand it over to Miriam. Good morning, Miriam. In the studio, you have been here lonely, but I've come to give you company this morning and afternoon so that we can discuss and see the way forward. We have only 2 weeks exactly to the polling station. Any expectations?
We're still following IEBC and see if at all they'll be able to solve these problems and these hindrances that they have to look at this morning. And in the earlier show, we were looking at that letter by the IEBC on the status of election preparedness. And I don't know why they're in the habit of releasing such important information in the middle of the night. And IEBC, Chebukati did not bother to address some of the key issues that the DCI had brought up. The DCI essentially had said Chebukati is being very dishonest because of certain issues. And Chebukati, in his late night media release, did not bother to even touch of those issues as if it did not matter. And I think these are key things that matter to Kenyans, because Kenyans wants to be assured that this election is free, fair, and is conducted in a manner that will not bring us a chaos or give us endless, court battles. But Chebukati, in his wisdom, chose not to address these key issues that really damages his position and his credibility as the chairperson of the IEBC by him being called dishonest. I think that is not a very small matter. I should have come out and cleared some of these issues that the DCI had raised in his letter on Sunday, but he did not bother. So looking at how things are, Chebukati has insisted the election will happen. So I think Kenyans are just waiting for that election. But there are so many questions that also Kenyans would appreciate if, especially the IEBC, will provide answers for.
First of all, Medium, I personally, before I come to Douglas and Gladwell, I have no confidence. Therefore, I want to announce to you, I've taken a back seat until 11th, when one of the 50 applications will be in the Supreme Court. That's what I want to announce publicly here now. I've taken a back seat. I'm not going to make any further interventions, because I know even if we select up to Angel Gabriel, this election cannot stand, the results will not stand the test of time. So that's why I came officially to this office, to take a stand and tell you I've taken a back seat. I'll deal more with the legacy affairs than the election, because unfortunately, one of the things that need to be in the legacy is the elections. If there is a bad election, then you cannot talk about the legacy. If there is any violence, then you cannot talk about the legacy. But I will pull back for now, because for 4 years I've wasted my energy telling people about the ballot papers, that there is no ballot printing press in Greece. Greece is a bankrupt country. The papers are being printed in Romania, and Budapest, and airlifted to Greece for the stakeholders of the parties to go and see. The papers are being printed. Stickers are found everywhere. So today we are just waking up. These stickers have been coming here illegally. So we don't know which are the real stickers for this election, or which are genuine and not genuine. The other day I found Grandi Muller on a flight, and he wrote on his Twitter and said he has been doing a survey in south coast of Mombasa and Kilifi. He was just simply planting these things. Now he has come on top as the main conduit, and is the first person. If Kenyans can remember, and one thing the Kenyans, those who remember, when Harun Ayadin was told that he was a wrong man, the same lawyers, the same guy drove up to court to defend Ruto. And this is the mafia clique, the cartel of Kisimayo, that has created chaos. We are going to have a problem here. There's no election here. President Kenyatta can even rebuke me if I'm wrong. I don't mind. But there's no election here. Raila, you are wasting your time. There's no election here. This election will be nullified. These guys have done a lot of damage. They have infiltrated so many documents, so many people on their farms, Wazungu in Sungoi, some of them claiming to be veterinary doctors. They are not. That they are handling cattle, cows, poultry. They are there. Ruto has been infiltrating the IEBC throughout the night and the morning, day and night. When he goes towards the western border of Kenya, people come in from a neighboring country. They come in. That's why someone is asking the passports. The passports were the people. Those who who were at home in the apartment are the ones who had expired passports, because they came in by road. So how much material has arrived here by road? Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, you are telling me you are busy saying you are going for an election. Whereas your spirit of of defiance and saying the truth as an activist, a political liberator, say, no, this is not the right thing. To discipline Chebukati. You allow the same man who is writing, who is going to seek opinion at night from Ruto. They had a meeting last night up to about 1. Then at 2, the document was drafted by Grandimura and the rest. Their telephone logs can show. So is there conspiracy here? And then they release the document. So that if they release it during the time, newspaper people will interrogate them. The material that arrived here by the law, they are supposed to be confiscated and destroyed. Because they broke the law. They were not anything. You cannot go with 10,000 pounds on British Airways to Heathrow. And then when the customs man finds it, then you say, no, it's my private property. Yet the form, the law is very clear that more than 5,000 pounds in the United Kingdom pounds, you must fill a form. So when you are caught with it, you turn around and say, they are for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in the United Kingdom. Rubbish. This is rubbish. Said, I am not a party to this. In fact, frankly, my people, let's talk about the legacy from now onwards, Miriam, moving forward. Let's talk about the legacy. Or you conduct you can conduct the election issue. But for me, Dr. Matsanga, I'm laying back to the legacy and do my work and wait. On 12th, 10th, I will be in court. Not as a Kenyan, but as one who has written very nice petitions. Let the Supreme Court dismiss me. There will be, I'm not going to be there fronting. I have people already lined up, about 6 lawyers. Petitions are ready. We don't need an election. You don't need to say you wait until the vote is cast. The irregularities that Mr. Chebukati has done are too many that they nullify an election, Miriam, without even looking back. You nullify an election. The technicality is very easy. The court has ruled that the signatures were illegal, illegally obtained. No appeal has been made. So the other candidates 4 are on legal signatures. Have you seen that one, Tawish coming? They are illegal signatures. Nobody has made an appeal. No appeal has succeeded. So Kenya was the only hope. We hoped democracy here would grow and give us an example, the rest of we Africans who have had conflicts where Uganda election. If Uganda, a state that you people underrate, everybody underrates, can cancel smartic something, can cancel them. When they tried their machines, at 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, Uganda cancelled the machines. And in fact, they wanted to shoot them. Then Ruto went to Kampala and picked them. He sent his group. Chinchiri was in Kampala in Baker Street, where the headquarters of this whole rigging is there. Why are we not talking the truth? Have you seen what Chinchiri is writing to us? They have done it already. They have done it. How many people have entered here before Mr. DCI, a good guy, finally picked You know, Ruto goes for my friend Kinoti, but Ruto is a thief, is a dangerous thief. You know, Ruto, Nani is not, let me tell you Ruto, Mr. Ruto, Kinoti is not an individual. The DCI is an agency. Kinoti does not sit to write those documents. It is the DCI you are insulting. The officers who have worked when you are not even born, when you are still stealing and breaking people's necks. With Jirongo, you have forgotten you broke people's necks. Watu wanakuangalia unataka kuja kwa TV. In fact, if I will try to fly out to Dar es Salaam tonight, so that I don't hear this voice of a killer talking to people on matters, a killer who finished Yabei. Where is Yabei? Is Yabei coming from the grave to talk? Wachana hii nyenye mna, you handle. He has involved himself. They have used our money from our country to manufacture mafia dome here. And the people are giving them red carpet. You think the revolution will not come? It will come very soon. Watch you, wait. I will go home. I'm telling you, I would rather go to Dar es Salaam tonight. Then you watch from something else. I'm a good man of a movie, but I don't want to watch it. Raila Odinga to come to do what? To argue with a thief. You know, a thief who has stolen and who doesn't accept, when he is given a chance to say, he is going to pack up a topic, kila kitu. So let Ruto himself explain. Now he has said he's going to build Cameroon and have been supported with some lumpenism. Some degree of lumpenism. We are keeping quiet here. And the country, the only country that was supposed to be a good country is gone, is going. People create a cartel, a network of guys. Seamless, which is seamless. How did the seamless contract, who participated in awarding the seamless contract? Who in Kenya participated? Tell me any Kenyan who knows what seamless is. Mnafanya pesa watu wakufe. Matanga aende ICC every day. I rested a lot of my wife. My time, I should have produced 3 children. On the plane. Going to remove people from ICC. And they are now doing mistakes. Yes, these are terrible mistakes. Nobody, how? You say you gave a contract to Seamless. Whom did you contact? Who was the CEO? Where was the seating? You can't give a contract to a bush from a company from Mogadishu, which deals with Mogadishu terrorists. Have you done the due diligence of this company? A shoddy terrorists who have even stolen money for ships across the Indian Ocean. You Kenyans, if it is up to you, I'll go home. This is not very good, man. Look at this. That Seamless company is the representative. That it is then if it was a representative, why was the man hiding the documents, the stickers, and not declaring them? If you were a representative of the company, why didn't you declare that I am the representative of the company? Msifinye kinoti sana. Msifinye kinoti. Jameni. He has tried. He's saving this nation. He's saving this nation. And the Kinoti's institution is not alone. Did Chebukati ask any intelligence of National Intelligence Service to accompany him to go and what? To do a due diligence? Show me one officer from those agencies who went to do due diligence, which is a normal protocol. Who signed those checks who signed the checks? Who signed the checks for the ballots? How do you sign the checks for the ballots when you have not done a due diligence? These are the questions that you can go and vote. Wake up, many, vote. But I'm telling you, that guy, that Chebukati you see on the screen there, is the most useless human being on planet Earth. Useless. I don't know. Lawyers are never like this. Him and his brother, they are all thieves. The brother was also in the same anti-corruption thief. All of them, the thief plus. This type of theft is not good. And here we are keeping quiet. I started shouting about these ballot papers. Why I'm speaking like this, I have evidence. I can play them. In fact, I am going to create another channel where I will play this, leave it. I've got my anonymous channel. I swear I'm gonna molest these guys. This one it play. Mutaona kila kitu it is gonna play. Kama uko na pesa zaidi unaharibu election. Anonymous channel is coming. Sindia anasema amenunua satellite hii kidogo hii. Sisi tuko na satellite. Tena hapana ziko hapa. Pale fulani. Tutacheza wewe Wafula. Chebukati utaona. Utalia. Resign and go home. Toka. Wachie wa Kenya freedom. You have never seen a satellite play from a remote area which you don't know. That Anacona satellite. You don't even know how you came from a place where there was no latrine and you talk of a doubted satellite. Satellite and they call a satellite that we are about to say marriage. That Marijani with that teeth, does he know satellite? What does the satellite mean? That Marijani CEO. CEO what? Of what? Or CEO of what? Anaribu. I don't know. Raila can't take it. Or Makao Mutua. Come out. The Kenyans are going to wake up to vote and they're wasting their vote and energy. No, I don't see the judges with all these problems. One serious lawyer will sit down and go with them slowly until we reach Justice Uhuru. And she will only ask a very awkward question. And we are floored. Nobody has made an appeal about the signatures. And Raila and Ruto lawyers have not seen that mistake. They are busy saying they are going for election. You are on wrong signatures that have been declared by a lower court that you should not have used it as a criteria. You get my point? The appeal has not been successful. Nobody has launched an appeal. If the appeal is there, the ruling has not come. So which signatures are you on? This candidate, Mudiulize, Raila can get even 100,000 signatures in a day. No problem. But on this, let Paul Omwangi go back and sit and watch. It's a technicality. Why do you waste Kenya's money? They will knock you out. They will knock you out. So, the legacy cannot be talked without talking about a successful handover. If you have not successfully handed over government to a right person, your legacy dies. That's why we are talking about the legacy. The legacy of President Uhuru Kenyatta now hinges on a thread that if this election is not done properly, then President Uhuru Kenyatta legacy will be mad. All the good things of infrastructure we have done will not be noticed. Isn't it? Let's bring in Kirimi Douglas from Memo. Those are my sentiments. Before I make a takeaway, let's all of us have a go at this, the topic, the legacy of governance. Governance structures in Kenya, how were they? Uhuru maintained them, maintained the constitution. He never destroyed the constitution. He never damaged the constitution. He did what was supposed to be done. Thank you very much. Douglas, is it Douglas or who is there now?
I see.
Yes, Doctor.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Dr. David, and also to Miriam for having me on the show. I believe, from my perspective, that the President of the Republic of Kenya has been able to make sure that the wheels of governance in this country continue and also work better and efficiently. For example, before, access to government services and also when you had an issue to sort out with government officials in this country, it was very hectic. And before, even accessing a provincial commissioner, which is now the regional commissioner, was an uphill task. He was a mini president by himself. Today, it only take a phone call for you to arrange a meeting, or you can just appear to their office. If they are not busy, they can attend to you, or they can give you an appointment. And also, actually, district officers, who are also known as DCCs today, and the county commissioners, are very accessible. And also, one thing that I also find very interesting about the government delivery of services in President Uhuru Kenyatta's type of governance is that he has been able to improve access to government services, the creation of Huduma services, Huduma centers, and everything thereabout. Access to business registration today. Instead of 1 month or 2 months that we used to take so that we can register business, today I only just need to log in to my phone or my computer and then feed in my details, and then I would be able to access a business or a company will be registered in 2 days. Foreigners now can be able to own businesses in Kenya without a lot of legal encumbrances and also other bottlenecks that were there before. I believe that even people would want to access their IDs today, it will take less than a week for you to access your new ID. And also, because at the end of the day, the services have been improved, and also the kind of demystifying the presidency drive or the rapid results initiatives that have been deployed by the Ministry of Interior and also the Executive Office of the President have been able to bear fruits for the people of Kenya. I believe the rapid results initiative that have been launched by the Ministry of Interior and other ministries across the government, we've been able to see tremendous changes, and also people who are not able to access title deeds that were promised to their grandparents, and they are now able to access title deeds in record time. And these title deeds would also help in educating children. These title deeds would also help them to develop their own properties and also to own a piece of their own country. Remember, in a capitalist state like our republic, in Kenya, a title deed means a lot to a family. There's a poor family in Msambweni. There's a poor family in Kiago, where I come from, and also other parts of Meru, who have now title deeds. They can be able to lobby for development in their region, because if people are given title deeds and a road is constructed by the government of President Uhuru Kenyatta or the outgoing administration of President Uhuru Kenyatta, the value of that land shoots, also based on the fact that they have title deeds. Because also people who are the allotment letters for their land, if they have title deeds today, their land will cost more or triple the price that you would have sold it when they had allotment letters. I believe that the people of Kenya, the scorecard of President Uhuru Kenyatta is out there for you to be able to verify and also see what the president has been able to achieve. Some of them could not appreciate when the president is in office. But I believe that his legacy lives on, and so many other issues that in this country have been sorted out. We had believed that before that public hospitals had collapsed. We had believed that government services had collapsed, that you cannot access government services without corrupting your way in. We believed that before you could not sort your issues without actually going behind the curtains and also giving a bribe. In this country, we never believed that we can have even efficiency in government agencies like the DCI. We have had several cases of people going with sacks full of money, tons of dollars and Kenya shillings, trying to bribe the DCI and their officers to also access justice and maybe get contraband goods in the country. But the DCI had said no. They have been able to improve their services. The National Police Service has been able to improve their services. That's why people like Wafula Chebukati cannot sneak in mercenaries and bribe their way in our country to bangle elections in this country. And also, Dr. David, people like George Kinoti and the National Police Service would make sure that at the end of the day, we, the people of Kenya, have an access to services, have an access to transparency when it comes to things like elections, because we're in an electioneering period. We also need to run the government for that, and also the government agencies that are concerned with the same, Dr. David. Because if we could not have had people like that, or a system that works, or a governance system that works, where from the top the president says no to corruption, says no to bribery, says no to also people of Kenya bribing their way in on government services and every other access to government facilities, we could not be where we are today. Kenya has been on a tremendous journey of transformation, a journey of proper and good governance, where people could not be allowed to use their own money. The president has been able also to come out to the fore and advocate for national unity, and also the multi-agency approach that the President of the Republic of Kenya has proved to be working, and has been calling government agencies to be working together using a multi-agency approach. I believe that we, the people of Kenya, have had a touch of what the president wants and the vision and plans that he has for the country, when he tells us we should be able to come together, allow government agencies to work together, allow the people of Kenya to work together for the good and for the better of our own country. Dr. David, I believe the legacy of President Uhuru Kenyatta is not a legacy that we can be able to exhaust in one sitting or in 1 week or 1 month, because it has touched several sectors in the Republic. And I believe we, the people of Kenya, and also people of goodwill in the world, who judge President Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy rightly, correctly, and place it in a better place in history. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. And as the rest are coming in, let me just read the definition of good governance, and then maybe that will act as a guiding tool for the rest of us. Good governance is the process of measuring how public institutions conduct public affairs and manage public resources and guarantee the realization of human rights in a manner essentially free of abuse and corruption and with due regard for the rule of law. So it is anchored on public institutions and how they conduct public affairs in a way that, guarantees that the citizens get to benefit. So how do you judge the legacy of President Uhuru Kenyatta as far as governance is concerned? Thank you so much, Douglas, for that submission. Samuel Tawish.
Thank you so much, Miriam, and as well, Dr. David Masanga from our main office. And thank you as well for my brother for that commentary. Indeed, Miriam, all of us will acknowledge that President Uhuru Kenyatta, when he came into power in 2013, was coming first and foremost really to implement a whole new Kenyan constitution altogether. You remember the constitution we voted in and promulgated in 2010. It was a new concept altogether, but the President Uhuru Kenyatta was able to come in and seamlessly implement this constitution and the tenets therein. That itself really has earned President Uhuru Kenyatta a place in the history of this republic and in the history, in the annals of history, of course, of politics. Because again, if it were not for the resilience, if it were not for the goodwill President Uhuru Kenyatta has demonstrated and the leadership that he has demonstrated, then we would not have seen him successfully implement this constitution, and bet there's so many shortfalls and of course hiccups that this constitution has come up with. We all remember the issue of the 47 county governments coming into place. Today, if you are to do a comparative analysis one will argue, for example, that maybe the public debt has gone up, or maybe the expenditure by government has gone up, without necessarily really looking into I mean, the effect of implementation of the what came with the new constitution, Miriam. So in itself, I will give President Uhuru Kenyatta really a plus there. He has scored relatively high in as far as that is concerned. But second, but more important, Miriam, is the issue of governance and of course, the fight against corruption that you've tried to highlight over there. Because again, without the goodwill coming from the political leadership in this country, we may not have seen President Uhuru Kenyatta or this country really run the way it is run. Although we've had some challenges, including those around President Uhuru Kenyatta, especially those who are supposed even to help him in the fight against corruption, are really being a major hindrance and impediment to this war against the corruption in the country. But the mere fact that President Kenyatta allowed the independent institutions to be able to carry out their mandate without undue interference. I'm talking about also the DCI, the ESCC, of course, the Directorate of Public Prosecution, and also the courts, really to be able to carry out their jobs independently. That in itself really speaks to the person of President Uhuru Kenyatta and the kind of the desire he has to make sure that this country operates and continues to do so within the confines and the dictates of our constitution. That in itself also is a very big plus to President Uhuru Kenyatta. We've also seen attempts really to try and say provoke the president and the presidency in this country. So many instances, I won't quite draw the examples that we have witnessed, but it's in the public domain. We've seen what appears to be embarrassment and harassment from those close to President Uhuru Kenyatta himself, but he has been able to stand the test of time and prove even to the naysayers and critics that he is the best leader that this country has had from 2013 to this time. Because I can only but imagine what would it have been if it were the previous president. Say, for example, during the regime of President, of course, Daniel Moi, the now deceased. It would have been a messy affair to have a deputy who is so stubborn, like a deputy president William Ruto. But President Kenyatta has been able to display himself with a demeanor that befits head of state and the president of the republic. And in itself also is a very, very good plus. Miriam, look into the kind of developmental agenda that the president has been able to implement in this country. I mean, because when you talk about governance, you cannot talk about governance without quite looking into the developmental agenda that the president has had to prioritize in his administration. Today, if you talk about the road connectivity in this country, is something that you cannot compare with the previous three administrations collectively. If you talk about, for example, the issue of SGR, this is one of its own in our country and in the region. If you talk about, for example, increased construction of infrastructure in our schools, in our health facilities, and so many other things that the president has been able to achieve. Miriam, my other brother, that is Douglas Gundi Kirimi, has also spoken about the issue of the Huduma number. I mean, the Huduma services in the country, Miriam. This is one of the things that President Uhuru Kenyatta's administration has made it efficient and effective for the Kenyan people to be able to get services closer home effectively, and also reduce the bureaucracy around getting government essential government services. Today, it's very easy for you to get a driving license. It's very easy for you to get a working permit. It's very easy for you to get an ID or replace one which has gotten lost. And so many of the services that the Huduma centers have come along, have really brought to the Kenyan people. So there's so much you can talk in terms of the governance that President Uhuru Kenyatta has been able to streamline, and he will go down in history. The people of Kenya will quite remember him for making an effective and efficient governance structure in the history of Kenya. I submit, Miriam.
Miriam, let me take over from where my brothers have left. Miriam, you remember in 2010 we got new constitution, and 2013 when Uhuru Kenyatta took over the power, Miriam, the constitution was in a process of actually implementation process, Miriam. And you remember the transition, Miriam. Most of the things which was done by central government were default. One thing that I want to applaud Uhuru Kenyatta in terms of governance, Miriam, is strengthening these counties. Devolution has worked wonders, Miriam. Uhuru Kenyatta took over. He didn't even interfere with this institution, with this constitution. He strengthened the counties. We talked of dialysis, we talked of those machines, we talked of distribution of resources according to distribution of resources in this county, Miriam, which is being done by national government. Miriam, if it was another president, he could have come and suspend the constitution, Miriam. So he has actually worked. He has not violated any constitution. He has not been taken to court, Miriam. Many African presidents have been taken to court for violation of this constitution, Miriam. Government institutions like DCI, Miriam, EACC, as my brothers have stated, have been given money. They have been given, their budgets has not been cut down. They have been given money so that they are running smoothly, Miriam. That is why you see Uhuru Kenyatta has achieved this, Miriam, through actually consultation with this county government. Miriam, you've seen most of these people who are campaigning right now, like this deputy. He has been complaining about this AI, he has been complaining about ESCC, he has been complaining about KRA. Miriam, you see, in a nutshell, this constitution, this President Uhuru Kenyatta, Miriam, has actually tried so much to make sure these institutions are working well. I've said Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, Miriam. I've said DPP. In many cases, many people have been taken to court due to corruption without president demanding. We came from Moi regime, Miriam, where if you are actually not siding with the president, you have been arrested without even trial, you've been taken to court, without even being taken to court, Miriam. Your account being frozen, you run to exile. Since Uhuru Kenyatta has taken over, Miriam, we've not seen anybody running to exile. You see, for example, Miriam, Uhuru Kenyatta has given even these other activists, nobody has been arrested. They have been given time to abuse him. They have been given time even to discredit this decision without even seeing what has been done there, Miriam. So, in terms of governance, Uhuru Kenyatta has done a lot. We applaud him. And as Daktari has said, Miriam, we cannot go without touching the handover. As he's going to hand over, we cannot hand over the nation, Miriam, without the elections. We want to call people to Uhuru Kenyatta to strengthen this, to see whether this institution which has been accused, like now DCI has been accused by his deputy, Miriam. Let us encourage them. Let us make sure they are working. Let us give them time. Let us ask them to do this investigation. Let us, if it is budgeting, let us give them enough money. Let us make sure they are working. Thank you. I submit.
Okay, thank you so much, Cladwell.
Thank you so much, Miriam. And I'll start by saying that Kenya has reached a democratic milestone, including the adoption of the constitution and also a decentralized governance structure of the 47 counties. But Miriam, let me start by, there's too many types of governance. And let me start with let me focus on the public governance. Miriam, in the morning we had a topic on the health sector. And Miriam, as I said, the health sector is more affected by negligence, and that's an issue we can discuss. But at the end of it all, we need an action taken upon it. Miriam, or let me also talk about transport. The transport. Miriam, for instance, we had an accident. The other day concerning a modern bus. And Miriam, it's high time as a country we go back to the Mishuki rules that were there, because Miriam, also negligence is also part of these transport sectors. Miriam, if we go back to the way the things were being handled, I think these accidents can be capped. And in Kenya, unfortunately, there's nothing you can speak unless you touch about corruption. Some of these facilities, which actually are supposed to be running smoothly, have been affected by corruption. So we need to curb out those loopholes that are actually affecting our country, Miriam. Corruption has to be curbed out so that even the health facilities can actually function the way they're supposed to be. The transport sector can run smoothly and hence cover our people, Miriam. We are losing so much people also in these road accidents. So many road accidents are happening each day, in out. And it's also a result of negligence and lack of rules that need to apply on these roads. I submit.
Okay. Thank you very much, Gladwell. You touched something which is Kenya has reached a democratic milestone. Indeed, it's true. Compared to the days of Moi, we've moved very far. There is some rule of law, very strong rule of law, where you can apply for bail even when you have stolen, and it is clear you stole it, and it can be seen in your house, and you can be seen spending. You actually go to the motor shop, the car showroom, and purchase from that same money, purchase a vehicle from the stolen money. That is very serious democracy. It doesn't even happen in Britain, not even in America, where the democracy has graduated from 1 year to 1920. That you steal and go down and get bail. That's democratic. Indeed, we have to be very, you brought that issue, it's very, which I think we better be studying it on our Twitter space, which you ran away from. This time I will catch you tomorrow. So that we can discuss it. Can we say we have Africa, so far have we reached a milestone in democracy? When we can actually go to Fika town, dig a hole, and draw the money from the till, and then the police captures, then we go to court. The court says, I'm sorry, give them bail. They collect the same money that was sent from the till is the one to pay the bail. Miriam, sometime here I gave you a story of my wife was told, if you are coming to room, it was something to do with a license, a TV license. Jokingly, the judge said, you are not living here until you pay, because you have stubbornly refused to pay. You have the money. Look at the shirt you are wearing. This is a judge, a Mzungu in London, in Croydon. He said, until you pay, you not go. And then I called my wife to say, come and pay. She was also told she has to explain. If it is a current account, no. Because current account has a credit card. You could be paying when they can't cancel it. That bring your savings book. And that savings, you must bring the history. Have you seen how they lock you? The holiday is finished. You chasing those things in the bank, the history of how you have been banking, the way you get the money. You see, that is what scrutiny of governance. There are steps, counter steps to control the governance. We don't have here, look, a deputy president is in office, earning salary, driving petrol, but he is insulting the president. Every morning and evening, he has remained with 14 days to insult Uhuru. Is that governance? Uhuru has been so lenient. That's why I brought this topic. His legacy is lenience. And that lenience is good for democracy, but very dangerous for corruption. He should have shot some people. The Ugandan way, where you steal and the president writes a letter to the judge that don't release him. And if you are released the same day by court, a squad of about 30 are waiting outside to go with you like a bird, tearing you to pieces. So people there a bit, let me tell you, Miriam, they fear to touch money a bit. They go for some other things, but this money, if you're in the ministry, people fear. Money, government money in Kampala, they fear. That is for sure. It has instilled some fear. When some people were hammered 27 years. There's a friend of mine who used to praise Museveni so much, called Chaze. He used to write in the Uganda paper. We used to write together the topic, weekly topic. A newspaper called a weekly topic. And this friend of mine he took money of Global Fund of Malaria and AIDS. Chaze was sentenced to 27 years. And he's great. He was the admirer. You know, the man who could even kill you for, if you mention the name in the 80s, when he came to London, and I told him about this, he said, Matanga, if it was that you gave me this small accommodation, I can look for my I can look for my own hotel. This hotel of yours, you can have it, but don't mention. He's a very good friend of mine. The guy was hammered 27 years. He came, Teddy, he's called Teddy Chaze, an editor, very, very controversial. When he writes English language, it can jail you. He was jailed for 27 years. So he had to serve, you can imagine, 14 years. And they thought Museveni could come and rescue him. No way. So deterrent measures need to be put in place. And I hope the Honorable Prime Minister, when he takes over power, he has to put guidelines. I have another example of a man, the Minister of Finance, Mr. Kurunei of Zimbabwe. Mugabe locked him in and requested for the keys for his cell to be brought to him, such that when they want to open for him for food, they request the president's office. Because he refused to declare. He was the Minister of Finance. Mugabe gave them 60 days that if you have the money, bring it back. Declare and say, this is the money. If you have houses in South Africa, sell and remain with one. Other people did so. This Krune remained with 3 accounts with money in Canada and with Canadian passport. Mugabe found him, he sacked him, he arrested him, he charged him, he took him to prison, Chikurube. If you see Mr. Krune today, he's counting trees. He's counting trees, you know, a madman who counts trees on the streets of any city. People like Ruto need to count trees. Moja, mbili, tatu, moja, mbili, tatu, nne, tano. Yeah, miti. There is that bird flying when you are thinking of the good life you used to have. Okay? Like some of us thought of the good life we used to have. I want to thank you all. Just a minute. I want to, don't go yet. I wanted to thank you all. And you stay online. And a bit. Mwambia kuja. Here. So thank you very much, all of you. We have so far done very well on the question of legacy. The legacy of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, the governance, the structures, the infrastructure, and the infrastructure and how he has maintained the cool such that people can know that he kept the constitution. Miriam, he did quite a lot of, there is nothing that he abrogated, there is nothing that he has changed from the from 2013. He maintained and implemented the constitution. Up to today, his tenure of office, when he leaves next month, the constitution will be as it was. A few hitches which are. But the worst thing about the Kenyan situation is the criminal justice system. That is something that I wanted before this gentleman go. And I do a takeaway for the criminal justice system. Is there anybody who has any other comment? Tawish? Tawish from Narok or Meru? Douglas from Meru, any comment?
Tawishes.
Oh, Tawish, you are on, okay. Your comment from Narok, please. Anything that you, don't make it too long. We want to, anything that you think we have left out in terms of governance before I make my takeaway.
Well, Dr. I think mine is more of echoing what you've just alluded to about the criminal justice system. And I think this has been more of a weak link when it comes to the fight against corruption in the country. Because when you have the institutions not working seamlessly and coherently, then it hampers the whole fight against corruption and, of course, dealing with the criminality in the country. And therefore, this is one of the things, I suppose, even as President Uhuru Kenyatta exits power, that the new or the coming administration should be able to deal with decisively and firmly. Because again, if it is left unchecked, Dr. Masanga, then it will forever remain the major hurdle and the headache in as far as the fight against corruption and dealing with criminals in the country is concerned. I submit that turn.
Thank you very much. Viewers, that was the editor's memo, and I want to thank you all. Since morning, we have been working on the legacy, the elections across. We shall come back at 3 p.m. East African Standard Time with the diaspora dispatches, where we shall touch on the legacy and the diplomacy of His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta. What has he achieved in diplomacy in terms that he has now been given the East African slot as the peacemaker of East African region community. Those are the things that Miriam will touch on together with the rest of you. Thank you very much, all of you from different counties, especially Kiragu. I don't know how you feel about the interview this afternoon, whether you'll switch on the TV or you'll listen to watch the interview, the debate. Yeah. Kiragu, will you watch the debate? Kiragu?
She must have left.
Oh, you must have left?
Yeah, the debate.
Oh, will sleep.
Yes. Will you watch the debate this afternoon, or you'll put there a cloth if there are two?
I'll just sleep.
You'll sleep. And Mr. Douglas from Meru, the mountains of Mount Kenya slopes, Aberdares, will you watch the debate?
I would have attended Raira's meeting in Meru, so I'll be tired and I'll be asleep.
Okay. Nakuru, the Great Rift Valley, will you be going to Eldoret to attend the debate?
No, I will not watch the debate.
Tawish from Narok. Where is Karanja today and the rest of the people? Karanja, where are you? Karanja didn't come. Will you attend the debate in Narok? Tawish, you are a veteran journalist for many years.
I'm sorry for the sake, because I would want to have a dig in thereafter, saying the consequent analysis, then I'll certainly watch just for the sake of that, but not because I want to listen to anything new coming from DP William Ruto.
Okay. Thank you very much, viewers. This is my take. For the last 10 years, President Uhuru Kenyatta took over the government from President Kibaki, the late Kibaki. The Constitution of Republic of Kenya is mandated that every 5 years there is an election, and has mandated the people of Kenya to come and select or elect their people to make sure that there is democracy and there is fairness and transparency in that election. Today, as we speak, there is a democratic situation in Kenya, which allows people to express their views. And since President Uhuru Kenyatta took over, he has not curtailed. There is no political prisoner in this country, Kenya. But there are bottlenecks. One of the bottlenecks of our democracies in Africa is the criminal justice system. The entire criminal justice system of many African countries put us at loggerheads with the realities on the ground. For example, when we talk about the criminal justice system, most of the people in the world think it is only the police. But the criminal justice system involves the judiciary, the police, the prisons, the probation officers, the social workers who actually make reports. And above all, the director of public prosecution and the director of DCI. The police, of course, is a component, it's a central component of the criminal justice system because they are the ones who arrest, prefer a charge, or recommend to the DPP for prosecution. Without the police, we cannot do much, and therefore they form the biggest component of our criminal justice system. But is this the criminal justice system that we see? What has killed the criminal justice system of the Republic of Kenya? Frankly speaking and candidly, the criminal justice system of Kenya has been killed by the same constitution that put there that when you are arrested on an economic crime, you are taken to jail, then given, not taken to jail, but taken to court, given bail. For example, you steal money on Friday, you are taken to court on Friday. On Tuesday, you are out of court with bail. You use the same money to pay and get a bail. And then on Wednesday and Friday, up to Friday, you are in Mauritius enjoying the same money. Because you go to the police station and sign for the whole of the period that the judges have told you to sign, because there is no probation officer who follows what is at the police. That is a criminal justice system. Probation officers in Africa only appear at the last minute when they are going to sentence people at the court. But we are supposed to have probation officers on a daily basis, supervising criminals, supervising court orders. And I don't know how many of you can remember that the thieves who stole the money in Ifika KCB Bank are back on the streets of Nairobi, and they could steal anybody's money anymore again. So these are some of the challenges that the governance, and these are some of the challenges that the incoming president of Republic of Kenya, who should be from my own liking, this is my end, that when you steal money from a government, you are not given bail for 6 months. The bail conditions come after 6 months, after your files and everything has been investigated. This is the way I think Africa can fight corruption. We are talking of corruption, but we are making corruption ourselves every day. We arrest people. You can arrest the 2 men from Venezuela, for example, take them to court. The lawyers, high-flying lawyers, flyers, they are already there at DCI because they have been paid high money. The morals, the integrity is already eroded. Until we bring back integrity, change the criminal justice system that is embedded in our constitution to make laws that can take the criminals who touch the government money, Africa will bleed. Thank you very much. That is my take. All right, gentlemen.